in the beginning, hated it so much. I did not sign up for that. I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. I didn't know that he was going to end up playing basketball. He said he wanted to be a high school basketball coach. I thought I was gonna be like the girl out there getting it. So I didn't know. I just didn't think it was gonna be a thing. I
You
thought
weren't
we
a friend
would be
group.
friends. Yeah.
Did you ever have anything in high school at all, or it was legit just friends?
No, just friends. Just friends. Yeah.
I get what you're saying of like you never saw him as something, but I'm
Yeah.
like, when you look back, is there any memory that you're like, maybe there was something or
No, never.
Imagine being the desire of many women and the envy of many men, only to be met with belittlement, disrespect, and hidden jealousy by an ungrateful wife. You can give a woman the world, and still, it's not enough.
Too much media.
Welcome to Too Much Media.
Tune in
Too Much
to
Media.
Too Much
Have fun.
Media. Too much media.
So Steph Curry was supposed to be a high school basketball coach? Whatever timeline or dimension the version of him that's a high school basketball coach exists in is literally a world that we know nothing of what it's like. Cause think about how much world events, how much the history of what the world looks like today looks the way it looks because of Steph Curry. All of the things he's done, all of the championships he's won, all of the things, all of the people he's inspired, he's changed their lives, all of the kids he's given hope to. Think of all of that and then think of the world that exists without that. That's in a completely different world that we don't know. Who knows if the Steph Curry effect has a ripple, how many ripple effects him being Curry has had on our planet. That's crazy. I had no clue that he thought he was going to be a high school basketball coach. If you're new here, this is a creative mastery channel, so we talk all things creativity and how to use your creativity to help you self-master and just improve your life overall. Make sure you guys are liking, commenting, subscribing. That way YouTube knows that we're active in this channel, we're just moving around in here and stuff.
And we're talking about this conversation Ayesha Curry had on Call Her Daddy podcast. Lauren brought this to our attention this morning in the latest. What happened, Lauren?
So Ayesha was on Call Her Daddy podcast, and she made some comments about what she thought her life would be like because Steph Curry wasn't supposed to be this big basketball star. Let's take a listen to that.
I didn't know that he was going to end up playing basketball. He said he wanted to be a high school basketball coach. I thought I was going to be like the girl out there getting it. So I didn't know. And so it just it was weird. And sports fans are so different than maybe entertainment world fans. And oftentimes it's very ruthless. And so I think I wasn't expecting that.
And people are upset. They're mad about it. They feel like she needs to be quiet and stop talking about her husband.
Well, first of all, Ayesha doesn't deserve any disrespect for her feelings, okay? Because she was asked the question, and I get it, she was asked the question, but the way the internet works, when you express things like that publicly, you'll get a whole lot of public responses. But I understand what she's saying. Ayesha was asked, how did his career impact her? Mm-hmm. And she gave her honest answer. That's how it impacted her. I totally understand what she's saying, because there's one thing that we're not talking about in this situation.
Oh, Lord.
Steph Curry is one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Was he always good like that, though?
He was good, but he wasn't he's the greatest NBA shooter of all time. He literally changed the game of basketball, revolutionized the game of basketball. Everybody started playing like him. It's the difference between being this NBA player and being Steph Curry. Yeah. So I don't imagine what her life is like having to deal with these hoes. These hoes.
No, for real. Yeah, it's the hoes, and then also she said she thought she was going to be that girl.
If you're returning, shout out to you. You know I rock with y'all. So, but today we're going to be talking about Ayesha Curry's newest scandal. I feel like every couple of years she gets into a scandal of people hate that she talks about her husband. I'm like, damn, it's her husband. She can say what she wants. And every time she talks about him, Steph Curry comes out and he says, y'all better leave my little wife alone. I don't care what she said.
Want to put a little on the tips of your finger. You're going to rub it in on your face, and it's going to naturally exfoliate your skin. What is this, 2 fingers?
I just saw you do that. Is this
No.
was it backhand? Was
Dude,
it
you
one
can
finger?
just take it and put it on your face
I
and
was
rub
just
it
following
in.
the
I was just
routine.
doing a little hand swatch. Rub your hands together and then
we're
just
going all the way.
go in. Yeah, I'll get the water ready for you.
Oh, that's nice.
I
That smells delicious.
Tell me how your face feels right now.
Oh, it feels light and airy, and
Do you feel that cool beachy breeze?
I do.
What comes to mind when you think of toning?
Low weight, high reps.
Okay. So I put a little bit on this reusable, beautiful terry cloth. Okay.
This is my skincare routine. All right, there we go. I'm swiping.
Doesn't it feel
Man,
fresh
I
and
feel-
nice? You smell the mild floral scent.
Oh yeah.
She could call me a dog. She could call me a bum. She could call me anything. I don't care what she said. Y'all gonna leave her name out y'all mouth. And that's on wifey. Like, he don't play about Ayesha. I don't know what she got on him. I guess too many years of loyalty too. It's kind of like he has to have that level of loyalty for her too. But he don't care what she say about him. Like, she's allowed to say what she wants. Because at the end of the day, he doesn't talk much in the press. So it's kind of like a thing where he has all of his like kind of recognition. And we're talking about a man who literally was okay with, after having a dad who was in the NBA, just going to being a regular old coach. Like, he loves basketball that much. He's like, I'll just sit around and I'll just get the next generation ready to be NBA players and stuff. Like, it's all good. Whatever. Maybe one of my kids, like, that I have with Ayesha, I can train them up to be good enough to at least go D1, if not NBA. Who cares? It sounds like Steph is very, like, within himself secure. Like, he doesn't care about much. Like, and I feel like it's that level of detachment he has about life that probably makes him as good of a shooter as he is. Like, he's okay with wherever the ball goes, it can go, but I need to just fix what I need to fix to ensure that the ball has the best chance possible to get into the hoop. Look how he even shoots. He shoots like he don't care. He just be throwing the ball up like he don't care about anything. And that level of detachment, I feel like, is what makes him so great. But this is not a video to be talking about Steph. We're here to talk about Ayesha.
She got married young. She had a family young, and she just never had a chance to really have a career. And now everything she's doing is centered around her husband.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it might be a little bit, not resentment in a way, like mad at my husband, but like, who am I as a person?
But even if she had the career in her life, like Michelle Obama had the career, she had a life, and she also talks about how strenuous being first lady was.
Also went to an Ivy League school. She was a whole attorney. She had
she
a
did
career,
all the things.
But Miss Curry didn't do all the things, so she's missing that.
I'm making a parallel of like whether you did all the things or you didn't. Women sometimes just have a feeling of, I don't like this right now. And it's okay. Why is it wrong for women to say, right now I don't like this, or I didn't like this, or I'm not feeling this right now? Why do women get dragged for that? Is what I don't understand. I don't have kids yet, so maybe I'm missing something here, but I just don't feel like it's warranted for people to drag Ayesha Curry or even Michelle Obama.
The thing that got me about this whole scandal of people being upset of her saying that Steph was supposed to be a high school basketball coach, she wasn't expecting all this, and she thought that she was going to be the person kind of like basically the star in the family, you know, because Steph is Steph. Within their family, Steph is the star. Everything he does is what matters. Everything that people are saying in the public is usually revolved around him. Every single time we get an anecdote or a little like news coverage about Ayesha, it always has to do with people not liking what she's saying about Steph. But it always comes back to him, you know? So if he had just been a high school basketball coach, anything basically she did outside of that would have been like more stunning than just being a coach at a high school basketball. Who cares about that? You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, because he ended up instead, and Charlamagne made a great point. I hate to say it. I hate agreeing with this man. But he was like, not only is he not a high school basketball coach, but Steph Curry is literally the greatest NBA player or NBA shooter of all time. Like, that's period. Like, there's no like debating, there's no questioning. Like, literally no one can say otherwise. He's revolutionized the entire sport of basketball. When we talk about basketball in the future, we literally will be incapable of discussing it without bringing him up. So to go from such expectations of all I will have to do is be the pretty wife of the local high school basketball team's coach, to now I have to be the shut up and dance wife of the greatest basketball player of all time. Like, that's an insane flip to make, and having to rewire your brain of what the expectations of your life is going to be, you know? And I feel like the Breakfast Club was having the kind of this discussion of like, we wouldn't have even known you, Ayesha. Like, people love humbling Ayesha. I really hate that for her. Like, the fact that anytime she kind of gets vulnerable with the public or like gets honest with what it's like to live the lifestyle she lives. Because at the end of the day, it's easy to shit on her. It's easy to say all these things about her. But it's like, you've never lived a life like her, like in comparison, you know? So what she's telling you is genuinely how it feels. You can't tell her how it feels if you've never lived it, you know? And every single time she comes out, everyone just shits on her. But that's because sports fans are mostly men, and men mostly hate women, you know? Men don't like when women have something to say about a man that they're obsessed with. They have homosocial tendencies. So it's like, because they're so obsessed and want to slob on Steph's knob, and she's the one who gets to do it, they hate her for it. They're like, so if you're not gonna just do it, then move out the way, we finna do it. You supposed to be sitting there and sucking. Why are you not sucking? Shut up. We'll do it. That's how they feel. That's how sports men fans are. They're low-key, but they're high-key homosocial. So it's like, when a woman speaks, they get angry regardless of how correct she is, you know? So it's very difficult to be in the position of a wife of someone that they're that obsessed with, where anything you say, they're gonna call you anything but the child of God, you know?
Aisha sounds like she's saying, I never got that opportunity. I never got a chance to be an individual at all. And it just sounds like she's being honest about, that's something I would have loved to do. She said flat out, I thought I was gonna be the girl. You were supposed to be a high school basketball coach.
I understand what Ted's saying. And some people will say to them, damn, we wouldn't even know you if it wasn't for Steph Curry. We wouldn't know you if it wasn't for Barack Obama.
She want to be known for being her own.
But by the way, even if you weren't married to them, we still wouldn't know you. Because you got people who were married. Like, you were married to the first.
You would have known it because she would have been something big. She should have been a rapper.
Aisha Curry was a sociology major, and if she wasn't married to Steph Curry, she wouldn't have ended up on the Call Daddy podcast. I doubt it, because she wouldn't have went in that direction of celebrity and entertainment. You understand what I'm saying?
She did say flat out though, I thought I was gonna be that girl. You supposed to be a high school basketball coach.
You can be that girl and not be super famous and end up on Call Daddy. You can just be successful, whatever it is. She was chasing her own fame.
It's not to me, she just wasn't expecting all these whores. Okay? She wasn't expecting all these whores and all of this that comes with being married to probably to me top 3 greatest basketball player of all time.
Poor Aisha. And the thing about it too is, they're kind of like, and this is one thing that I hated that Charlamagne kept bringing his point back to. It was like, it's because of these hoes. It's because of these hoes. And it's like, dude, like, do you really think that all women like have are equally yoked as far as like being insecure about hoes and being are like, even if they are insecure about hoes, most times when women are upset about men cheating, it has more to do with her than it has to do with the fact that the man is cheating or the man has hoes and things like that. Like, you have to think, like, for example, people are always shitting on Aisha's looks, right? But Aisha's really beautiful. Like, if you, like, 98% of the people who have anything to say about her looks, if she was standing next to them, she looks 10 times better than them. So if she was a local high school basketball coach's wife, oh, I promise you, she would have been getting all the praise. Like, she'd be like, oh my God, the coach's wife is bad. That's his wife? How he get her? That would have been more the conversation of like, cause look at Steph next to Aisha. Come on, be serious. She saved all they kids' genes. So it's like, everyone would have been more on some like, oh my God, how he get her? How he get her? When he originally got her, he thought he was coming up, right? But now, when you're putting him on a global stage, he's the best basketball player in the world. And now you have to compare Aisha to like supermodels and like actresses and like, you know, like TV personalities, influencers, like all of the most beautiful women in the world, which she also didn't sign up for.
Exactly, because the whole level is different.
It's a different whole level.
Coach, and
but it's still hoes,
Steph,
though.
what?
It's a different whole level. See, y'all don't understand this.
International
Aisha need to come up here.
Yeah, we need to talk to her.
Aisha need to be somewhere where she can discuss this whole level. It's the whole level. See, Barack ain't got them hoes like that now. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
We didn't call.
Now all of a sudden she's mid, she's a 6. She ain't that cute. All these homo ass men all of a sudden talking about all this stuff. Like, boy, sit down. Like, Steph is never gonna want you. Sit down. Steph most times looks so annoyed with his own fans. Like, he hates this. That's the one thing. He loves basketball so much that he's willing to put up with all this other stuff. But you can tell Steph doesn't really rock with the fan base. Just like KD. KD hates the basketball. audience. He hates them so much. He be calling them broke. He be like, they bums. He be cutting up. So it's kind of a thing where it's like now, because she's in such a limelight and getting compared to all these people for in a sports realm, when people are shitting on her just because they're obsessed with her husband, she's having to face all of these things that aren't even true, and having to like rewire her brain on a daily basis to feel good about herself, because people are always trying to convince her to feel bad about herself, right? And then Charlamagne talking about some, it's because of these hoes, it's because of these hoes. And it's like, but she literally just told you it's because she was expecting to be able to have her own life. You know, it's like men, it's like their brain is so sexually oriented that they can't seem to fathom that women think about things other than where they're sticking their genitals into. You know, to them, all that matters is like, is he cheating? Whether he got hoes, Like Charlamagne can't even begin to fathom that a woman's brain is more complex than caring about her husband's infidelities. Not every woman is wired the same. Not every woman cares about a man's infidelities. Some women, it might be crazy to think, it might be shocking to hear, but their life, their own pursuits, their own thoughts are a deeper and higher position in their brain than their husband's sex life. Okay? Because realistically, in the position that Steph is in, I'm sure she's come to terms with, he might cheat. If he do cheat, I can't stop him. If he don't cheat, that's on him too. At the end of the day, what can I do? As a woman, you cannot let your life and your brain pattern revolve around what your husband is up to. It will kill you. And that's the problem. They all want us dead. So Charlamagne's over there keep talking about something. It's because of these hoes. It's because of these hoes. And it's like, bro, it's deeper than these hoes. It's deeper than that. A woman's life is her life. Her husband's needing to feel good about himself and going to search for some woman to fill his ego up isn't her whole world. She got 4 bumbaras kids. Like, think about what we're talking about right now. She thought he was going to be a high school basketball coach. They're never going to leave him alone from the day he dies. Even after he passes, there's going to be murals of him. There's going to be conversations. He's going to be discussed forever. She thought she was going to have a chance at pursuing a career. You don't think that breaks her heart more than, oh, my husband cheated on me? You can get through a heartbreak. But can you get through a life unlived? That's way deeper than some man cheating on you, some girls constantly hitting on your husband. Who cares? Take that nigga. And you can tell Aisha a lot of times, it's kind of like, y'all are so obsessed with him. Like, he really ain't that. He really ain't that. Like, go on, Otis. Like, that's really how Aisha be thinking about Steph. And he loves that about her. Oh my God, that's his favorite part of her personality, is how little she cares about it. He loved that. He's like, yeah, my wife who hates me, love her down. And that's the thing about men. They love a woman who don't give a shit about them. They hate a woman who loves them. You think Steph loved these hoes? He's like, I got me my little wicked witch at the house. I don't need you wicked hoes. I got my perfect recipe right here in front of me. And that's what their life is going to be.
Let me ask you, do you think it's the hoes? Based on this is what I want to know. Do you think a woman she's more concerned about Hades hoes or her career? Have you been married? Let me ask you.
I actually haven't married and divorced, but
okay.
I feel like it's more her career, honestly.
Okay, explain it to Charlamagne how the career, how leaving that career aside can bother a woman.
I mean, because I guess you feel like you're in a man's shadow, and then with him being a celebrity, it's even harder.
I think it's different when that's your husband. You're not in that man's shadow. You by that man's side.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
And if there is no him and me, there's an us.
Yeah, but you still, I feel like what I always hear in marriages is there's still an identity that you have by his side. And sometimes,
yeah, that's my wife, and I'm your husband. We are a unit. That's the Currys.
But you don't feel like Steph Curry in that situation overshadows Ayesha?
No, I don't look at it like that because that's his wife. I look at them as a unit. But I know that Steph Curry is a ball player. Ayesha ain't out there with a jersey on with him.
Another thing they were saying in the video was talking about how she would have never been on Call Your Daddy. She would have never been big. We would have never even known Ayesha's name if it wasn't for Steph. And I actually kind of disagree with that. I feel as though within the time that Steph has been Steph and we've gotten a chance to kind of get to know Ayesha, she's actually shown quite an aptitude for business, an aptitude for, talking publicly, for like doing, remember when she had like a cooking series, she had cuisine, cookware she was selling. Like Ayesha kind of had a little bit of a run for a minute. I think she got tired because of 4 kids, like that's a lot, and also probably all of the scrutiny she continuously kept going through, and then also like her physical insecurities and all these other stuff that kept happening, I'm sure had to do with why she kind of took a little bit of a break. But who knows, if Steph was a high school basketball coach, who knows if she could have been the next Martha Stewart. She could have been really big. You don't know that. You have no clue what Ayesha's real public talent is because she is overshadowed by her husband, which is her point, is that if she didn't feel so overshadowed constantly, where even when she's trying to do her own pursuits, people want to constantly bring him up, she probably would have been better and stronger at it. It would have been like, oh my God, isn't your wife on TV? And he's like just a local high school basketball coach. Yeah, she is. I'm about to go home and get the kids' dinner ready before she gets back. Like, so I can spend some time with her when she gets home. She don't got to worry about what's going on with the kids. Like, who knows how far she could have gone? And Steph seems quite supportive when it comes to her pursuing things. So it's like, if she had that level of support, plus that level of time, plus the level of ability to not be constantly overshadowed, who knows how far she would have gone? She could have, Call Her Daddy's just a podcast. Who the fuck cares about Call Her Daddy? She could have damn well been on Call Her Daddy regardless. It's not that difficult. And with social media, modern day social media, are you kidding me? You really think that Ayesha couldn't have made a career for herself and a social media presence, like a pretty big one, without Steph? It's not that hard. How many people who don't have Steph Curry in their family have millions of followers today? Why? What the hell is Charlamagne even talking about? This is why I don't even like agreeing with him. He's so dense sometimes. It's like this male, ego of never being able to understand anything about a woman's brain beyond cattiness and jealousy and hoes and sex and da-da-da-da. It's like that's the only thing we can ever think about, care about, or that we just sit around in insecurity all day. It's not even funny. He's like, because of these hoes. It's because of these hoes. I'm like, I'm sure, but I'm sure sometimes, but it's at the end of the day, I don't know. Ayesha really doesn't give me that type of person who's really spends so much time sitting around caring about that. It doesn't seem like that is the biggest problem within their marriage. Steph keeps a pretty, good reputation publicly, a quiet, a quiet seeming, life and stuff like that. It's not like he's just out here swinging his pelvis around. You know what I'm trying to say? And he always publicly respects her. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it revolves around that. It sounds like what she said is what it is, and you can't even hear it. And that's how that's how their brain works, if you're a woman and you pursue your life and you pursue what you want and stuff like that, they're only going to be thinking, oh my gosh, she out here looking for a new man. Men are throwing themselves at her. Men want her. Da, da, da. That's what you would have a problem with if you was Steph's wife. That's the problem with these sports fans too. It's like they want to be married to these people so bad. Like, dang. And then the last part.
People like Aisha from being open, because we as listeners like when people are open. And to be honest, a lot of people have some of the thoughts, they just don't share it. So when you're criticizing her, it's going to prevent future talks to be more closed off. Kind of like you're saying somebody this now, but we like when she's open about how she feels, because that's the true feeling that most people feel. And I agree with Steph with Philip Mike shouldn't have done that. I mean, like, he has a lot of power stature. Friends say that. That's kind of a low thing. But I mean, I just be honest. I agree. I don't think it comes off as jealousy. I just think that, a lot of people be wanting women to shut the hell up and so-called know their place. You know what I mean? But if you ask me how I feel, I'm going to tell you. If you ask Aisha Curry how she felt in the early days of her relationship, she had every right to say that.
And she also talked about how, like, even just with social media opinions, she would get so much scrutiny just about small things. And, like, men don't get that the same. So she was learning to deal with all that in real time.
Yeah.
How do you can't prepare for that. You just go through it.
I wanted to bring up was like, oh yeah, they were talking about how even when they went to Paris, like, she's so overshadowed. It's the fact that they were out and what the hell am I seeing right now? I just saw a squirrel with a mouse in its mouth. What the hell? Okay, anyway, they were in Paris for the Olympics. Mind you, now this nigga got a gold medal Olympic too. Like, golly, when will it end? But they were at the Olympics, and then the French police hit her baby in the head while trying to shove them along and basically be like, no, you can't go here, da, 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 da. And then she was like crying outside in France from the overwhelmingness of being around all the fans and being attacked by the French police and this, that, and the third. So it's like, you're going from thinking you're gonna have this peaceful high school basketball wife life to being attacked by French police, fans mobbing you constantly, people always in your business, this, that, and the third. Like, and every side of the realm, she's like playing defense constantly. Just because Steph is the greatest offensive player of all time, she's the greatest defensive player of all time. She's having to constantly keep her family safe.
Touch a baby. I don't touch a baby, okay? Oui, mais on passe par la crache. You will not sleep well. You will not sleep Come on, Aisha. Stop saying my name. How about help us? How about help us? How about that? We're going here.
Note now, please. Comment ça, note now? Monsieur, on a eu des consignes.
It's right there where all those people are on that side. We were over there.
Il y a même des autorités. Qu'on retrouve. Voilà.
Look. They won't let us go back over there where we came from. They won't let the driver come here, and they won't let us go back over there.
Nobody's allowed to cross the street right now.
Sorry. And then they told us we couldn't go back over there, to come here and go here and there. Now they're stopping us.
Le secteur est complètement bouclé.
Well, I was.
C'est 10 minutes, donc voilà. Il y en a pour 5-10 minutes maximum.
It was tough. Remember, there was a video of her crying. Remember when she was, where were they, in Paris? We was over there for the Olympics. He was on that team, right, in Paris?
Yeah,
yes, there was a video of her crying. She was on the street. Her and her family were trying to get through like the crowds, but they had so many fans with them, and somebody accidentally bumped into her with the baby. You don't remember that video?
No, but I can see why that would piss you the hell off.
But I guess I gotta be fair on this, Lauren, because you don't have to interview. Just so we're clear. Like I told Killer Mike, because Killer Mike be sitting up getting high just.
And this is a lesson I feel like for women like us who are in creative pursuits and who know what they want in life and who are going after their own ambitions. Men will tell you anything. Men will tell you whatever they think you want to hear to lock you down. You know, they're liars. That's all they do is lie. You know? And you have to be very careful to shield your own path and your own vision from the selfishness of a man, okay? Because one thing's for certain, two things for sure. He's gonna be selfish. He's gonna go for what he wants. And that depends on the type of man he is. Aisha's lucky. Steph's pursuits of what he wanted in life were actually beneficial, you know, actually brought in money. Some of these men, the only thing they chase is the next hole. So you're sitting around, he's promising you all sorts of stupid stuff. But really, he just wants to do what he wants to do and then get to the next one, you know?
Listen, man, I'm gonna keep all the way up with you, bro. How you not see the trajectory in me? Am I supposed to be a boo thing or what? Now, I'm not saying she's not supposed to feel how she's supposed to feel, but how you not, me being a man, how you not see that?
Well, she's...
I mean, it's one of those things like now I feel like I gotta have a conversation because I'm hurt. Because then being vulnerable space with you. Come on, baby.
But he told her, like, they talked about dreams, and she said that, you know, he was playing, and, you know, but she didn't expect it to be all of this because he said he wanted to be a coach.
I think y'all all missing this.
Right.
Y'all missing this. And I'm trying to tell you why you're missing this. Forget basketball. Aisha saw him and said, that's my man, that's who I want to be with.
Right.
Forget basketball. Right. If we're being totally honest, out of high school, Steph Curry was an underrated recruit. Like, he wasn't
True.
like, what are you talking about?
Come on now, when you were college, you put up on man.
Yes, but coming out of high school, he had limited scholarship prospects. That's why he ended up at Davidson.
Davidson.
What are you talking about? Like, come on, you mad at Aisha? Aisha didn't see the potential. Mad recruits didn't see the potential either. Aisha saw the potential in him as a man. That's more important to me than basketball.
She said that.
So, she's lucky. He lied and said, yeah, I'm coach high school basketball. Da, 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 da. That's all I'm gonna do. And then ended up fighting his way tooth and nail to get to the NBA. You know, the thing about the NBA is not an easy place to get into. You know, you don't just get to wake up one day and be like, yeah, I'm going to the NBA. It's a very difficult path to go through. Especially Steph, who no one expected would even make it as successful as he did in his D1 college. Like, that was a pretty low-ranked D1 school. And then let alone from that low-ranked D1 school that he did way better than anyone expected him to do at, to actually get into the NBA. And then once actually in the NBA, become the best person ever in there. That is like beyond unexpected, especially at his height and at his weight and at his speed. Like, all of the things about him, nothing about him was giving greatest of all time. So that's how you know Steph just fed her whatever he thought was gonna get her to be calm enough to guarantee like she stuck around. He was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be a high school basketball coach. Da-da-da-da. But in his mind, he knew, he was like, I'm going to do whatever it freaking takes to get into the NBA. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Cause his little ass, like, you know, he was training really hard and like practicing a lot to get as good as he got to be who he is today. You think he just woke up one day and was Steph Curry? They said he does like 100 shots just for like warm up before he actually starts his real shots. And not just 100 shots, 100 made shots. He has to make all 100 before he gets started. Like, does that sound like somebody who didn't know they were about to do what they were gonna do? Does that not sound like somebody who was just feeding a woman whatever he thought she wanted to hear to guarantee her loyalty? And so as a woman who is creative and has pursuits in life, don't listen to these niggas. Don't follow a man so blindly that you lose track of what you're actually supposed to be up to. You know,
she said she was trying to figure out if she even wanted to have kids and do this whole thing, and then she met him and she saw.
She didn't sign up for that. That's the bottom line. She didn't sign up. So this brother saying you should have saw the potential.
Basically, she said he's looking at him as Steph Curry right now and saying, how didn't I see that? But what Charlotte's saying is that it wasn't about basketball.
That's my man.
Yeah,
my man. As Lauren likes to say when she talking about her two boos. Good morning. Good morning.
If Aisha had put some preventative measures or maybe noticed earlier of like, Steph, it seems like you're telling me you want to be a high school basketball coach, but you seem to be training really hard. You seem to be trying to to be getting into NBA. You seem to be doing this. You seem to be doing that. While I love that for you, and I do actually think that you have a great chance of getting to that, that's not what I signed up for. I don't think I want to be the wife of an NBA star. I don't think I want to have to constantly be getting your food program together, making sure everything's good for you because you have a game tomorrow, making sure this, that, and third. That's not what I asked for. You told me you're going to be training high school basketball. Now, maybe once a week making a little dinner for your basketball team, sure, I could have done that. But every single day be worrying about your games, being quiet in the house because you got to go train, or you're taking a nap before this, or you got interviews to do, or you got sponsorships, or I have to be going to these special events and this, that, and third. Like, that's not what we said we was about to do. I told you I'm busy too. I got stuff going on. You know I got my culinary stuff that I want to do. I'm trying to build up my little social media presence. You know I have like interviews here and there. I have my job. I'm trying to get a promotion right now, this, that, and the third. Like, it's too many hours in the day of things I got to do that your life is kind of starting to feed into mine. I can't have that. So good luck. Maybe one day we'll, reconnect in the future when we're at a more stable point in our life. But like, you told me high school basketball coach. Exactly what he tells you that you're good with at the time. The minute you see him swaying from what he said, you need to recognize the signs and run. If you want to be successful at what you're trying to do. That's literally the truth. It might be hard to hear, it might be whatever. The second whatever he's doing doesn't align with what you got going on, you need to recognize and run, because that's what men do. That's what men do to women all the time. If you're a woman and you're out here just doing whatever you want, and a man is pursuing something that he thinks is super serious, and he realizes you're starting to get in the way, I promise you're gone. He is not waiting around for your ass. So you have to guard your life with the same level of, with the same level of care. You have to care enough about what you're saying you want to do. Because now look at Aisha, that's really what is holding the resentment between her and Steph, is the fact that she didn't get to do what she wanted to do. Because all the signs were there that he wasn't going to be helping her out with that. He was too busy pursuing his own dream, that hers just got washed away. I'm sure a part of her doesn't regret it because, she loves her kids, and I'm sure the lifestyle's pretty nice, millions of dollars, big houses, great vacations. But look at all the other stuff. The constant backlash from sports fans who are dick riders, the constant public scrutiny, the constant nosiness, the public humiliations, the, the kind of shell of herself that she has to become to just be Steph Curry's wife. They don't even call her Aisha half the time. That's a really difficult place to have to accept. And she does it gracefully. She does her best. But I just hate that people really think it's okay to just constantly shit on her, to constantly anytime she speaks up about hey, it seems like everything's great, but these are some of the issues that I'm facing. I'm a woman, and I have a voice too. I have a personality too. I have dreams too, not just Steph. How dare you fucking have a dream? How dare you not like the fact that everybody loves Steph Curry and doesn't think you're anything and you're basically the bottom of his shoe? How dare you not like the fact that that's how we treat you? Huh? What? Make it make sense. Who would like that? And if it was opposite, People will kind of get it. But as a woman, shut up and cook, you know? Might be hard for you basketball players, of course, shut up and dribble, whatever. But imagine being told shut up and cook, you know? And that's why I made this channel. This is why I know I need to protect women's creative mastery with every part of my being. Because it's so easy for us to let it just get washed away. It's so easy for us to not see the signs of failure coming right in front of us if you don't pay attention. I've seen so many women who have the potential to be everything, not even just anything, everything. They could be everything. And a mistake like a man is one of the biggest, quickest routes to defeat. I promise you that. And Aisha's a great example. I think I'm going to make a series of women letting men ruin their creative mastery dreams. Who's next?
Too Much Media.
Welcome to Too Much Media.
Too Much Media.
Too Much.
Have fun. Too Much Media.